Our politicians do know how to work together. For example, the Patriot Act was passed in 2001. It gives the government this immense unchecked power for indefinite detention. They have permission to search a home or a business without the owner's knowledge or consent. They can search our phone, email, financial, and business records, all without a search warrant. Provisions to that law have been reauthorized during the George W. Bush, Obama, and Trump administrations by huge bipartisan majorities. While our political leaders try to convince us of how unreasonable the other side is and how impossible it is to work with all those irrational people over there, the reality is they have no trouble working together when it comes to taking away our rights and our civil liberties. And they have no trouble working together when it comes to shielding police from being held accountable. All I'm suggesting is that we give police the benefit of the doubt with a clear understanding that we will hold you accountable when you break the laws that you have sworn an oath to uphold. We will hold you accountable the same way as any other citizen who's broken the law. End qualified immunity for police officers. Even though qualified immunity is a legal doctrine that applies to teachers, firefighters, and a wide range of other government officials, it is most often used to shield police from accountability. There are two bills in Congress that deal with qualified immunity. The George Floyd Justice in Policing Act, which really addresses qualified immunity only for state and local law enforcement and corrections officers. There's also the 4-page In Qualified Immunity Act. That would eliminate qualified immunity as a defense in nearly all civil rights litigation against state employees. So please contact your congressional representative and demand that they support legislation that will end qualified immunity for police officers. Make police officers and their unions financially liable for any judgments, restitution, or punitive damages when the officers have violated a citizen's rights. Make professional malpractice insurance a requirement. However, the specific shakeout, the bottom line is that taxpayers should not have to pay for police misconduct settlements, period. We should establish a national directory, a national police directory, and appoint a citizen control commission that would be tasked with keeping accurate, up-to-date records of all police reports of misconduct, as well as departments each officer has worked in. That information will be made available to the public, so if a police department hires an officer with numerous reports of abuse, then that department will be leaving themselves open to legal liability for future misconduct. And we need to end the failed war on drugs. It was a war created as a political tool and has led to the incarceration of the highest percentage of our population than any other country. And 46% of the people we lock up are there for nonviolent drug offenses like simple possession. Drug laws also fuel police brutality because they allow cops to force random and sometimes aggressive contact with the public to search for contraband. We should also end no-knock warrants. A no-knock warrant is a tool created specifically to fight the war on drugs. Many innocent people have been killed in the process because of wrong address raids and other botched police procedures. We need to end civil asset forfeiture. Civil forfeiture laws allow for the government to take cash, cars, homes, and other property suspected of being involved in criminal activity. The property owner doesn't have to be charged with or convicted of a crime. Now more than a month has passed since George Floyd was choked to death on video. It was a moment that brought condemnation from people all over the country. And then since then, the Supreme Court has declined to address qualified immunity in 7 different cases. And 2 of the police reform bills that the Congress has right now that address qualified immunity are far from having enough public support, and our leaders continue to bicker. We've gone from we must hold police accountable to national discussions about the picture on a syrup bottle and other products. We've argued about Confederate flags and Confederate monuments. And if the goal is to raise awareness and address racism by removing statues, flags, and offensive pictures, I'd say we've covered quite a bit of ground. But today, by contrast, Colorado is the only state that has eliminated police qualified immunity. the longer we continue to address police accountability strictly in terms of race, the longer it will take for us to arrive at the solutions. And in the meantime, people will continue to get sexually assaulted, beaten, and killed by police officers with no accountability. Thank you for watching.